Tonight's tinkering and messing about is accompanied by Bellhop Vanilla Bourbon Porter from Torque Brewing in Winnipeg. They don't say a whole bunch about it, just that it's roasty smooth and comforting. 4.8% alcohol and 28 IBU, which is relatively low, and I approve of that. So today I'm going to be looking at this little anti-theft, anti-lost device that I got in my latest mailbag. It is basically a little Bluetooth fob that connects to your phone, or you connect your phone to this, and theoretically you can put this on something and your phone will let you know when it's out of range. What this is not is a competitor to the Apple iTag, AirTag. Yeah, no, it's not that. And the main difference is the software for your phone, for your Bluetooth device. This thing is basically just a little Bluetooth beacon with a push button on it. Allegedly, it can be used for other things, like to trigger something remotely, but I haven't been able to find any software to do that. So its main function remains just to let you know that whatever this is attached to is out of range of your phone, and presumably out of range of you. There's a bit of instructions in here. It tells you to download an app. Unfortunately, the app that it tells you to download, which is called iFinder, is not actually available anywhere on the Android Google Play Market thing. When you search for it, there is no rFinder app. So I don't know if it's disappeared or what. But regardless, there is this iTag app, and there's a few other similar apps that I have found that kind of work with it, but they don't really live up to the promise. But I guess before we get too much deeper, here is the basic specs of it. Bluetooth Low Energy, 2.4, etc. gigahertz. So in that same spectrum that all the Bluetooth is. Receive sensitivity, voltage, current, all the rest of that stuff. It runs on just a common CR2032 battery, which it came with, so that's kind of good, I guess. At the very least, I got a battery out of the deal. So let's try it with a couple of these apps that I found before we tear into it and just see what's in there. Although I'll warn you, it's not all that impressive. These are some of the apps that I found. That iTag app that's sitting on, that I showed you on Google Play, isn't actually compatible with this tablet. But so let's try this iTag 1 app, because it's the closest to actually working that I found. So if I turn this guy on just by long holding there, it chirps to life. Scan to try and find it. Okay, so now we found it, and I can make the tag chirp by doing that, so that's kind of cool. That's the closest thing to useful that I've been able to find with this thing. Shut up. The other thing that happens is when I now that this thing is connected to an app on my tablet here, when I take it far enough away that it can't talk to this anymore, this guy just starts making noise and keeps making noise. It's kind of hard to demonstrate that to you, but well, actually no, let's just try that. So let's take this guy for a walk and see if we can get far enough away. I don't think I can get far enough away in the basement, but what I can do is put it into a Faraday cage. And then after a little bit of time, this starts happening. Of course, that doesn't tell you where it is, but at least it tells you that you've walked away from it. And it's not really that far away. The range isn't that huge, even though, I did put it in a metal box. But, The other thing we can do is use a bit more of an analyzing tool to talk to it. So I'll just power it on here. Let this guy scan and find it. There it is there. Connect to that. And here we have a bit more information about it. It's obviously got essentially a MAC address, but that's not what Bluetooth calls it. It has various other bits of information here. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. The only other thing, let's just look at the Bluetooth statistics in general here. So there it shows up down there in my Bluetooth scan, and as you can see by the icon beside it, it seems to identify as a keyboard. But I can't pair with it just using normal Bluetooth for reasons unknown. Anyway, since it's clearly not all that useful, Spudger time. There is the 2032 Cell, no name brand, or at least nothing I can read in English. And then I'm guessing that to get into this guy, I just have to split it along this seam, which isn't all that difficult. Well, I see that now. Yeah, it's not all that difficult. Okay, so we have this little plastic keyring collar. We have that. We have this. There's the battery contacts. And, hey, a real chip. I was expecting a blob. Oh, that's awesome. So we have little antenna etched on the circuit board. We have what looks like... Actually, no. I thought initially that was an inductor, but no, that's the beeper, peeper, chirper speaker kind of guy. That looks like a crystal or some sort of a resonator or something like that for a time base. Transistor up there. Looks like what is that? That is a little diode beside it. LED up there. So I'm guessing that transistor is either driving the LED or the speaker thing. Capacitors, some capacitors, pushy button, and a chip, which is nice to see, but I'm not seeing any markings on it. Now, angling it at different angles to the light and stuff, I'm not seeing anything at all. And yeah, that is in fact a 16 meg crystal. So that will be clocking whatever this thing is. Not much to it. Didn't really expect there to be much to it, but you know. I don't know what else I can say about this thing really. It's a cheap enough device. It was only a couple of dollars, and apparently you can get them all over the place for fairly cheap. And I guess it has some utility. If you walk away from your things, then it will chirp your device. So that's, I guess, a reasonable enough thing. But like I said at the beginning, this is no replacement for the Apple AirTag system, sadly. I was kind of hoping it was. And for those who are in Android world and don't know too much about the Apple AirTag thing, basically there's a lost device service running on all of the newer iPhones. Apparently you can shut it off, but by default it's turned on. And it's keeping track of things that you got paired with it. If it loses track of it, then it'll let you know that it's out of range. But and this does the same thing, but the party trick that the AirTag thing does is any iPhone that's running the service, which by default is any modern iPhone, can ping these things, and if it finds one that doesn't belong to it, it will report to Apple's proprietary cloud to tell the owner where the thing actually is, give some GPS coordinates and stuff like that. So a lot of international travelers have been using those to just toss one in their luggage, and when the airline invariably loses their luggage, they can tell that, no, it's not in Miami, it's in Copenhagen for some reason. And then the airline will say, well, we don't know where it is, and the customer can say, well, I know exactly where it is. Needless to say, the airlines don't really like that. But I was kind of hoping that this could do that, but you need the software ecosystem. You need a walled garden of uniform software the way that Apple has done. And as much as that annoys me, the AirTag thing is a pretty cool party trick. Now then, the other thing about these is apparently you can use them with a camera that has Bluetooth enabled as just a remote camera shutter. I assume you have to pair it with it, and that button can send one bit of information across. But again, I don't have any devices like that, so I think this is where this ends. Well, this and just go upstairs, edit the video, finish the beer, and call it a day. That was a quickie. Thanks for watching. I know several people were curious about this thing in the comments from the mailbag, so here we go. I'll talk to you later.